And here's an article too about the Observer in Britain, the newspaper. It says how the Observer brought the World Wildlife Fund into being. It's 50 years since Julian Huxley, that's the writer of Aldous, the brother of Aldous, writing the plight of African animals in the Observer, inspired the creation of the World Wildlife Fund. And I'm going to put this one up here because it's got different links of it to original articles in the archive sections of the Observer that Huxley himself wrote. Remember, he was the first CEO of UNESCO. He was an ardent eugenicist. He was all for culling off all the weaker types, Mr. Huxley. And he got all the top awards for pushing abortions and this, that, and the other things. All lots of nice, shiny things to stick on his mantelpiece. Hi, folks. I'm Alan Watt. We're cutting through the matrix, talking about Julian Huxley, Sir Julian Huxley, of course, descendant of Thomas Huxley, the best pal of Charles Darwin, and this little clique here, who are all inbred, by the way, the Huxleys, Darwins, and the Wedgwoods, and the Bens, and the whole bunch of them. And so, by the way, was Jordan Maynard Keynes from the Darwin family as well, the Huxley-Darwin family. But they're all eugenicists, a whole bunch of them, and they all ran on this scientific formula. They believed they'd have to kill off an awful lot of people to have their wonderful paradise for their birds and stuff, and all their little alligators and things like that. Anyway, it says here that according to Professor Lee M. Talbot, an American ecologist and geographer who traveled with him across the Serengeti in the 60s, Julian Huxley was an enthusiastic, gracious, friendly, rather quiet but authoritative, remarkably knowledgeable but always inquiring and visionary. He was key in transforming conversation from a narrow concern to a worldwide scientifically acceptable movement. He says he was also in favor of decolonization. He was a scientist, ecologist, and a eugenicist. He knew conservation was about making a park, then putting a fence around it. It was about social and economic contexts. And it goes on and on and on, but you can actually get the links off here to read the articles that Huxley supposedly wrote for The Observer that kicked off. And then you see all the big players that moved in immediately to back him. It's all designed that way, of course, because the Royal Society has an awful lot of friends, and that's what he belonged to as well. He also decided, too, to give you all your values for the children to come, and the sexual liberation to be taught at school, all that stuff, so as to end the family unit. That was all part of it. He talks about that in his own writings, if you bother to read them. This great helper of UNESCO, he made sure there'd be a standard worldwide education, and that's what you've got today, a same culture worldwide. There can only be one, once again.